Howdy friends, at my local grocery store I recently noticed that they have several punch needle kits, just like this, $10, that sort of claim to have everything you need to complete this one project. So I thought I'd pick it up. I've never done punch needle before, but it is something that I have kind of seen around Pinterest and Instagram. So I've decided I'll give it a go. It says that it includes a hoop, canvas, yarn, threader, punch needle, and pattern. This was $10 at my local store, so I'm going to evaluate it if I think that $10 price tag is truly worth it, and we will see what the finished result looks like. So let me talk you through my criteria as I make this project. For me, I decided 5 questions should be answered in order for me to evaluate this project. Does it come with everything needed for the project? How long does it take to complete the project? How much troubleshooting does it provide, such as pictures or a link to a video? Can you feel confident doing it again, / does it teach you a skill? And then, did I enjoy it, / would I do it again? I thought these 5 questions would best help illustrate my thoughts on this project, as well as some check-ins that I filmed while I was doing the craft itself. Basically 24 minutes in and I already have a problem. I did mine probably denser than, well, I know it's denser than the picture, or at least, closer together. And it's looking great on the underside, not gonna lie, but I don't quite have enough to do this corner. So I'm stuck with the dilemma. 24 minutes in, do I pull this out and restart to try and fill the thing? The ding was the air fryer. I took a little break to start heating up some food. Do I take it out? Do I count that as a practice? I already did like a little practice, but this is a great start to a project, taking it out. But I mean, I've gotten practice. We are now 31 and a half minutes in. I repunched it all, and I have yarn left over for this first color. It doesn't look quite as dense on the back, which is to be expected. It's not quite as dense on the front. And since I still have yarn, I'm going to sort of fill in, perhaps if I can, without fully messing up any of the design. It feels very nice. I like the feel of the punch needle, especially on, they call it the back because it is the back side of what you're working on, but most of what I've seen has had the loops as the front of the piece. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of see about using up the last little bit of yarn. I will be timing that portion because it is part of the project, but I'm not sure that everyone would be doing that, would have the patience perhaps, since we are 30 minutes in. But I'm just going to do it as I see fit because it is my project. So let's keep going. 35 and a half minutes in and I have fully finished this first color. So this is what it's looking like on this side. Slightly rough. A lot of people do cut and trim this up. It doesn't say anything about that in the thing. It looks pretty good on this side, definitely denser. I got some snags from doing more. It looks like it wasn't quite as rough on this side before, but let's just get right to our next color. I will say that I've had to slightly tighten and adjust the frame a couple times because the act of punching sort of pulls the fabric in, not quite as taut. So let's continue with the second one. I think probably this one right under it.
Essence in auto mode, but adjusting the iris control was looking kind of bluish, no matter what, which, whatever, it all adds to the look. The viewfinder immediately shows the choppy results as it compresses on the fly. The resulting recordings, yeah, it's rough, dude. I've had roasted trail mix with less crunchiness. At least it has sound you can almost decipher. Better than nothing. Here we go. It goes one like 1990. As for the software side,
basically 48 minutes and a second color down. Here is what it looks like on this side and on the back. I tried to be a little more mindful starting this time, and I think, yeah, as long as you kind of get an idea of how wide your stitches should be, you'll have enough yarn. I have a little bit more of a tail here, and I went back through after I had finished the main shape and just sort of did around this inner edge. But as you can see, like, I'm wondering, the instructions don't include how to like finish this. So I'm wondering if I am going to do like what I've seen online, where you glue this side and then like trim up this side and like, yeah, or do like, is it intended just to like leave it like this, like fold over the edges and just hang it? I'm like, ooh, look what I did. It doesn't include instructions, but the photo on the front is this. So, but yep, basically 48 minutes, and I've gotten 2 colors out of the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 colors. Yeah, the second color took a lot less time. Obviously, I didn't have to take it out to redo it to fill the space, but so far, so good. It works.
Of course, it looks different right away because CRTs are very dim to the board. This one's nowhere close to color caliber. Also, I have no idea what its actual effective resolution is like, so this isn't at all representative of the game.
Okay, so we've reached an issue. As you just saw, they knotted the yarn. They're like, oh, well, we don't have a piece long enough for this kit, so let's just knot it. But that you can't do that with punch needle because it won't be able to go through the needle with the knot. So I just undid the knot. And yeah, I'm gonna have to rethread just with this piece. And at least they've given plenty of this yarn, but still, like, you can't just knot it. As you can see, it's narrow. It's a narrow needle, so you can't, if you knot it, then it'll get stuck in the needle. It's not gonna be able to go through. So that's not great, but whatever. I took it apart. I'm going to just continue.
This video from her was very telling, and there's just this weird thing where I feel like people think that.
All right, so 69 minutes in, and I have finished the green. I do actually have extra of this yarn, and it's looking pretty good on this side. A little sloppy on this side, but that would be fixed if we were to like trim this side up, like I've seen in other like videos where this is considered the back side, this is considered the front where it's the loops. But I did a look through the instructions when I made my cup of tea, had paused the timer, and it honestly does not have any finishing instructions, which is interesting. There's no suggestion on anything at all on how to finish this. So I'm just gonna continue. 69 minutes in, so it'll probably be an hour and a half-ish. I'm getting more of a hang of it. But yeah, this is what we have so far. 3 more colors to go. Another color done. And a little left over.
And I think it is a lot worse than she wants us to believe. Amber does call her own behavior crazy in this situation and says that she has grown so much.
Canon also designed design bodies with dots in it, costing typically well over $100 USD.
So here we are, an hour and just under 40 minutes later, and I have a completed, at least to the extent that the kit instructs me on how to do, punch needle. I think it looks pretty good on this side. This side leaves a little to be desired, but technically from what I've seen online, now I'm not an expert, I've not really watched many videos, just sort of reels of people doing it. My thought is that this side is actually considered like the front if we are going to be finishing it, and this is considered the back. So the kit does not provide any instructions beyond this point, and honestly the instructions for it are kind of vague. They just sort of tell you how to thread the needle and that you're supposed to hold it like a pencil and punch all the way through to the plastic. And yeah, go for it. So I have completed what the kit has set out to do. So let's evaluate on my criteria questions that I posed at the beginning of this video. So how long did this take to complete? It took an hour and 38 minutes, 49 seconds according to my count. I did not do this project all the way through, but the fact that it's right around the length of a movie to complete, I think is pretty good. It's not too long of a project, but it's also not too short of a project. It definitely feels like $10 worth of entertainment. Did it come with everything I needed? Yes, it did come with everything I needed. I wish they would have provided a little more yarn for a couple of the colors. Like you saw in the beginning, I restarted this project I needed kind of a feel of how dense I could be doing the yarn. How much troubleshooting did it take? Like you saw, it took a little troubleshooting with figuring out the correct form, but not like too difficult for me to figure out as an adult. If you were giving this to a child, depending on how many craft projects they've done before, just their general per the child, they might need a little more assistance from someone like an adult or from a video. This just came with a tiny little instruction thing, basically just saying how to thread it. It did have pictures on that instruction, but I don't feel like the pictures were adequate for really telling you what you're supposed to be doing. Do I feel confident that I could easily do this again? Of course, I feel like I could easily do punch needle again. I could work my way up to more complex projects, but I feel like this was a pretty good starter one. Multiple colors, not too long to complete each section, and I feel like it could easily be improved over time, but I feel like this gives you a good baseline. Would I do this project again? I feel like I could confidently say that I would be able to do this project again, or would want to do a project like this again sometime. I'm happy I didn't invest a ton in getting into it because I honestly wasn't sure if I'd enjoy it. And now that I have done it, I feel like I could do it on my own, purchase my own supplies. I currently am a knitter and crocheter to begin with, so I do have yarn at my disposal. And I do embroidery, so I have other hoops like this. It would just be getting the material that they sort of use here, which is, as you can see, sort of a woven material. But I feel like I could comfortably work on a project or follow another kit tutorial and be able to have a successful result. All this being said, I think we can now circle back and answer the big overarching question. Is this worth the price tag of $10? I feel like this is easily worth the price tag of $10, and I'm a bit impressed that it is only $10. I feel like this could easily have been priced $15 or $20, and most people would be satisfied, although I think for $10, it's a way better deal. It's nice to be able to try something as potentially a one-off, maybe if you are unsure on what to get for a child as a gift. I feel like this is a great starting point for beginner crafters. Like I said, children could probably do this. I feel like If you aren't sure, but you've been seeing it online and you see one of these in person, or I'm sure Amazon has plenty of kits, give it a go. I appreciate that there wasn't too much extra, but there also wasn't too little for me to complete this, even if I did have to take it out a couple times to kind of get the idea. All that being said, I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Leave your comments down below. Let me know, how should I finish this project, since this is the point that the kit kind of left me off on. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye!